This video is brought to you by CatBeast.com. Design your own custom snapbacks and hats.
What's going on, folks? It is KspadeTheProspect, back today with a brand new episode of my Las Vegas Made Men My League series. And folks, I gotta tell you, I finally met defeat. I played the Houston Rockets on Hall of Fame, and good God, bruh. Look, James Harden went completely wheels on us, and I needed to see that. That's kind of what I wanted to see. I want this whole series to be a challenge. And I ain't record that game for you guys because it would have been like rated R. Like, it was ugly. The stuff that James Harden was doing to us was ugly. But we're looking to bounce back. I actually played that game, and then I decided after that to jump into the game against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Let's see if we can make that happen. So as you can see, man, I don't like how it says Washington in the top right. Like, we relocated. It's not Washington anymore. 2K, tighten that up. But anyway, folks, we are here in the beautiful We Made Arena. Man, they come out here and they support their team, man. Like, the stands are packed. They came out here to see this new look team, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but I have taken myself out of the lineup because I played so poorly in the game against Houston. I just couldn't buy a shot, which is crazy because I got my shot on my player. So I don't know why I couldn't make a shot, but I couldn't. At any rate, I knew that small forward position was going to have their hands full trying to go at Paul George, and I just didn't really feel like my player was best suited for it, so we got him up out of there. Hey, it's going to be like that sometime. Bench myself. So the lineup for tonight's game, guard spots, man, we got Dini and we got Rap. Spark is going to take the starting small forward position, and then, of course, we still got them Oofy twins down there. Got to get those dudes in the game. Now, coming out of the gate, the one thing I wanted to do was establish the three ball. Now, the thing with this game, it's just like in real life, folks. You can live by the three or die by the three, and we just couldn't get them to fall against the Rockets. And the Rockets, man, they run the floppy like every other play. And it's so frustrating because when you run that play, the computer can get by that screen easily. But, when we tried to run it, it didn't go so well. So anyway, let's get into it, folks. As you can see, man, Oklahoma City comes out the gate efficiently. Score on their first two touches of the rock, man. And TMM, these guys got to figure something out. You can see Spark gets it back over to Philly. Philly dumps it down finally to Rap standing directly under the basket. Rap's about to get three in the key, just wondering when are they going to give me the ball. I am here. And finally, the main man get a chance to see the ball go through the hoop. And sometimes that's what it's about. Just seeing that first shot go through the hoop. Everything else seems to fall in place. The matchup to keep an eye on is this power forward matchup. Now, Melo's a savvy veteran. We already know. Melo's been in this league for years. He's a wingman. He can score. He's not as athletic as he once was. But if you look over at the TMM side, the player that they have at the power forward position is a bigger, stronger player. At the same time, maybe a little bit slower. So keep your eye on that Melo versus Rated matchup. Gonna be curious to see how this thing goes. Now, we jump ahead in the video and you can see the Thunder definitely kind of hit their stride and they was able to kind of take off. We saw the same thing happen in the game against Houston. You guys didn't, but I definitely saw it. And the tempo in this game was insane. After that last basket, it's a 10-point game out the gate. It was way past time to get a timeout. The much-needed timeout seemed to do some good for the Made Men, and they was finally able to get some type of production from their players. Now, if you're looking at the court right now, you see some second-unit guys out there, and that's one of the strengths of this team that we don't know so much about. In the 5 or 6 games we've seen them so far, the team has talent all the way to the end of the bench. Any of these guys can come in and produce, and the coaching staff really got a difficult job of trying to plug and play, bring certain guys in, and just manage it. And I assume they're going to get better with it as the season goes on, but this is one of the things that's a strength to this team that seems to have a boatload of weaknesses. Now, still late here in the first quarter, trying to get that three ball to fall, and it's really not falling for this team. What they're going to have to do is probably go with a lineup that's kind of favors that 1v1 matchup, and they probably want to play some better defense as they leave Melo open for three right there. And OKC continues to build on this big lead. Still a lot of basketball left, though. Don't give up on this team just yet. Now, this is the same scenario against Houston. The only difference is they couldn't get back in it. Something after that play caught my eye. Paul George makes the basket, looks at the Vegas fans, and shushes the crowd. And it's a lot of hoop left, PG. I don't know if you really want to do that. Now, the pick and roll is something that this team can actually run better than most teams out here. It got them a great look for the three. They couldn't get it, but Vision is crashing the glass, getting board after board, and finally it pays off with some more points for this team. Now, at the end of the first quarter, OKC is definitely still in control. The one thing about it, though, I don't know if they are sitting in as good of a spot as any of us expected them to be. They came out the gate fire hot, and the Made Men squad could make absolutely nothing, so I was expecting a really big lead Not a single-digit lead at the end of the first quarter. So hopefully that momentum is going to switch around if you kind of going for the TMM squad, but let's see. Second quarter action, they actually go 3 deep at the point guard spot, and they got this little guy Cross. Now, this dude right here is a fan favorite. Not really known for making shots. He already got the Vegas fans saying put him in the slam dunk contest. This guy's a high flyer. He catches bodies, and this is the type of excitement sometimes that you need off the bench. And if I'm going to talk about high flyers and excitement, I got to talk about this power forward, Young Bang Out. As the name implies, the dude flies. He puts people in the rim, and I like this. Like I said, they kind of need to go with a lineup that can beat their matchup one-on-one. Very close game right now. Probably as close as we've seen it since it was 0-0 until that shot right there. Paul George was absolutely on fire this game. And so far, it didn't really matter who the Vegas squad threw on him. They wasn't doing a good enough job of stopping him. Spade in the game after being benched and taken out of that starting role, and he still really cannot find the rim. He's in an awful slump right now, and they're going to have to play through him or just get him off the floor. At some point, you got to decide. You got other guys on that bench that can make shots. And if he can't get it done, you got to get him out of here. You just got to. They go back to attacking the paint, and I'm talking about OKC. This team is ferocious, man. They're beating them inside, they're beating them outside, and every single thing that they seem to do is working right now. We get an answer from New Dini, the do-it-all point guard from Vegas, comes in and gets the mid-range shot to fall to keep this game somewhat in shooting range. Now, if you look at the court right now, you're missing a lot of the big stars for OKC, and this is really the time that this Vegas unit got to make a push. If you can't get back in the game with Paul George off the court, with Carmelo Anthony off the court, it's going to be a long day. Now look, end of the shot clock, great defense. For one, you want Robinson taking that shot. For two, you like that you made him use the entire shot clock. They get absolutely nothing. And then on the back end, the big fella, Philly goes to the basket, gets the hoop and the horn. And I'm telling you, now they ready to chop into that lead. Now they ready to get into the lead. You get another look at this play right here. And Robinson, who's actually a great defender, was just out of position right there. Never really even should have jumped. Should have just let that one go. We jump ahead after Philly makes his free throw. We got Melo at the stripe, missing a free throw. And you see the TMM squad getting the board. Slim, this guy's a sniper. He can shoot coming across the half court. We all know how he tore up the Pro-Am leagues. It's a different stage out here, but everybody feels like he can produce the same way he did in the Pro-Am arena. And look at this. Spark wide open in the corner, bangs the three. The TMM squad is cutting into this league, and now it feels like they have all of the momentum. Folks, it's a 4-point game right here. Carmelo Anthony back in the game. Whenever he goes back to the basket, you got to respect it. He didn't like the shot attempt, I guess. Kicked it over to Steven Adams, who could not get the shot to go. And Slim pulls the three with a hand in his face. Couldn't get it to go. Philly goes for the putback. That's so accurate. Melo comes back. He's got Westbrook in the corner. Big time three from OKC. These guys look phenomenal to finish the first half. 45 points at the end of the half, but TMM is right there, still a single-digit deficit. We've seen them cut it down to 4 and just could not get, all that momentum to get it back. But this is a much better showing than they showed us against Houston. So I think we got ourselves a good game right here. We jump ahead, third quarter action, folks. Let's see how things go. Coming out of the gate, you definitely want to get a basket. You want to see if you can pick up that same momentum that you had midway through the second. Dini trying to work the one-on-one, go straight to the basket, gets the layup to go over the outstretched arms of Carmelo Anthony. Bang, bang. I like it. Westbrook coming back. He's got that look in his eye. When he gives up a basket, he usually comes right back, and he wants to get you back. He's trying to utilize the other stars on his team, though. Melo finding them back in the corner. That's another great look. This time, Westbrook can't get the three to fall. TMM slows it up. They get it over to New Dini, who surveys the court, decides he wants to run a play, and they set it up and give him a whole side. They told him ISO, ISO. He goes right by Westbrook, gets the layup up on the rim, and it falls off. You got to hate that. That's a great look. They don't secure the rebound. OKC comes back. Andre Robinson dribbling it out. Swings it over to the red-hot Paul George, who throws it back up and says, hold on, let's set this up. Now, there's 3 stars out here, and in this game right here, you're seeing both of these guys, or should I say all 3 of these guys, playing so smart, so efficient. Look at Melo and Paul George. These guys are on fire. Crazy performance from these guys, and no matter how well they play, they cannot completely pull away from this young Vegas squad. They just can't. They miss a shot there. Bang out on the board. The tempo is pushed. Spade for 3. Bang! Big time 3 right there. The 3 cuts back into the lead. This team is right here. OKC is playing perfect, and they can't pull away. What concerns me, if you're an OKC fan, at some point, these starters are going to have to sit down. I want to see if this team can put up this type of production without Paul George on the floor, without Melo on the floor, and without Westbrook. Now, they would be a fool to pull all three at the same time, but at some point, these guys are going to have to come out the game, and I don't know if they can stop the momentum that the made men have right here. We jump ahead in the game, folks. Still a 5-point game. Slim patiently waiting for the play to develop. Hit Spade in motion. He pulls the three, rains it from deep. That three makes it a 2-point game in this third quarter. Has been all TMM, and they are 2 points away from tying this game. 3 points away from their first lead of the game. Defensive miscue right here. They give up a wide open mid-range. That shot falls down. You hate to see that. They fall so hard to get here. Come on, guys. Finish strong. A little bit over 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. They're running great plays for Spade. He gets a wide open look at the mid-range. Can't get it to go. That's the Spade we saw against Houston. And if he's missing that, you gotta pull. I'm sorry, you gotta pull this guy. Now, he did have an awful first half. Seems to be bouncing back so far in the second half. That may be his first miss, but you gotta keep an eye on him. Like, he's just in a rut. Big time foul right there. I like that about this dude, Young Bang out. The dude, he's got some grit. He's got a little bit of grime under his fingernails. He will go out there and get those fouls, man. You can't take him home, and he ain't trying to ride out of here with him. Great look right here from Syfe. He gets the big-time three to fall. Folks, we got a tie game at 59 all. I don't know if these Vegas fans was out late last night gambling or what, but they don't seem – it's like they don't realize – whatever. Forget the crowd. We got a tie game out here, folks. Westbrook doing everything in his power to keep his team in it. He's got to feel all the momentum slipping away. Abrines pulls the three with a hand in his face. It won't fall. TMM gets the board. They push the tempo. Syfe thought about taking the three, slowed it up, kicked it back to Slim, and bang! That's another three-pointer from deep. Look at these Vegas fans, bruh. What is wrong with these guys? This is a hell of a game. Get on your feet. Cheer. Go buy a foam finger. Anything. What are they doing? Less than a minute to go here in the third. TMM has had probably one of the best third-quarter performances so far of this season, and this game is still not over. Right now, though, definitely OKC got to stop the bleeding. Things aren't going their way, and you can just see the momentum. Look at this. They switch off of the pick. You've got vision on the smaller Westbrook, and that's called a mouse in the house. The big fella goes to the basket. That's an easy score. We jump ahead to the fourth quarter. 5-point lead for the made men. Confidence on 1,000. Crowd still asleep, though. I'm not really sure what's going on in the crowd right there. 2K? Do they know? Do they know this team battled back? I don't know. I don't know what the crowd doing. Westbrook is not going to lay down, folks. We already know that. He's going to give it all he got. He goes to the basket right here. Gets a tough hoop to fall. Okay. I see you. TMM comes back. I like that they're running plays, getting in their sets. Nice little wrap. Wraps three, goes up. Can't get it to go, and TMM doesn't secure the rebound. OKC gets the board. They're going to get it up to Melo, who pulls a quick three. A lot of time on the clock, and it bounces in when you got Melo making these shots. When you got Paul George playing the way he's playing, 99% of the time, that's going to equal a win for the Thunder. Vision one-on-one. Being patient, waiting, surveying the court right here. I'm not really sure what he's looking for, but I guess he knows. He finds Rated on the cut to the basket. Nice finish in the paint. Nice little play right there. I didn't know what was going on. I thought he fell asleep. I thought he was at the same place that the Vegas crowd was at last night, but I guess he know what he's doing. The wrap-up play right here. Melo wanted that three, fam. He doesn't get the look he wants. Great defense. You got Philly coming out to help on the perimeter, but nobody's guarding Paul George, who is still fire hot. Another big-time three. He closes the gap to 4. Look, do you get a better game than Paul George ever? I've never seen Paul George play like this, ever. Not even when he was in Indiana. Never seen this. This is crazy. Then he comes back, swings it over to Spark. Spark out on the perimeter, one-on-one versus Paul George. Deciding he don't really like what he sees. Gets it back into the hands of Philly, who dumps it down low. You got Rated going up off glass. He's begging the crowd to get on their feet, and they still don't give a damn. This crowd is heartless. Heartless. Somebody told me this was a great sports town. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't. Great defense right here. Paul George, one of the few mistakes he makes in this game. He loses the rock. TMM gets it up to Philly for the hoop and the harm. He's having a hell of a game. Jump ahead late in the game after the timeout, man. We are already ready to say the player of the game so far is none other than Philly. Philly is having a hell of a game out there, and it's crazy because At times, he was their best option as far as running the offense through him. They would bring him up to the free throw line, just give him the rock, and they trust this guy to make the right passes. Might be one of the best passing bigs in the game. Watch out, Jokic. Could be, could be the best one day. Maybe already, who knows? But already, man, this is a new thing where they're giving our player the game when there's still some time on the clock. This kind of scares me because there's enough time on the clock for this thing to go the other way. Like, Vegas ain't sitting on a lead so big that we ready to pack up and head home. But then again, maybe they are. I jump ahead in the game. Folks, look at this. It's a double-digit lead right here. You got Steven Adams out on the perimeter. Nobody's afraid of that. They got Melo in the post. But like I said, he's being guarded by the bigger player. He tries to get the step back, goes up and gets blocked. I told you to keep an eye on this matchup at the start of the game. Rated was right there, ready for the post play. And Melo, once upon a time, man, that post move was automatic. Nobody could stop that. Later in the game, when all you need is a basket or two to seal the fake, they go inside to rate it. The bigger body was matched up against Raymond Felton. That's a mouse in the damn house. And folks, we draw the curtains on OKC. Talking about overcoming adversity, I like it. This Vegas squad was down for, what, 2.5 quarters of this game. Maybe even 3. I'm not even sure. Maybe 3 quarters. And they stayed in it. They fought back for these ungrateful fans. Look at these fans. You ought to be ashamed of yourselves. Anyway, folks, that is all I got for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We got an update required in case you guys didn't know. If you did enjoy it, do me a favor, bang the like. If you're new to my channel, hit subscribe. And if you're new to this series, I just made a playlist. Go through and get up to date. Check out everything. Shout out to Rap, who I guess he didn't do enough of the other stuff to be player of the game, but he had a hell of a performance. Of course, Philly and Rated came through and did exactly what they were supposed to do. And Spade still stunk it up. 5 of 14 from the field after the sim was applied to kind of adjust the stats. Like I said, man, I took him out the starting lineup. I got to get my shit together. I don't know. Stinking it up out there. But anyway, folks, I am out till next time. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Peace.